Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Org.
This is Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, that message that you see on the screen is not being said by me. I promise you. We have some idea what we're doing, just not a good one. But what we
Yuri?
do have to... I thought so, but... What I can confidently tell you is that today we're taking a break from a monthly tournament coverage and just kind of games overall to take a look over here at the Red Storm 44 League. Yes, there is a league. We're on Slutsk and Rang. We got two killer players coming on forward. What do they have? What are they bringing?
Left hand side in the blue, we have Babaryann playing 78th Sturm, and on the right hand side in the red, we have AS playing 10th Guard Tank Corps. Their incomes is stuff, but the incomes have been renamed. So, I can't tell you exactly what the incomes are, they're just numbers.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things. I think it's operational security. So, like, OPSEC said, hey, you know what? Like, we can't let the enemy know, which I totally understand. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
you don't want to let the enemy know you're Maverick beforehand. You want them to find it out through experience.
Well, we do know that this one guy over here is a bit of an ass.
The natural one?
Forget it. I was thinking about the name, but apparently I had to explain it, so it's not fun.
Oh!
Moving
Oh!
along. Like, crickets, everybody. That was a thunderous applause from those crickets. Thank you so much, guys. In the meantime, we're going to be looking over here and seeing that it's very much a quality versus quantity kind of occasion. So I'm kind of excited for it. You made the comment yourself. Tons of Schutzen coming on, and guys, remember again, these are the crazy buffs and everything, so I'm showing you a little bit of Kriegsmarine over here in the meantime.
Kriegs veteran.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Boats. What are tanks but just boats of the land? But no, so talk a little bit about this matchup with these decks. How's this going to be looking?
Yeah, 10th Guard tank in the mod is lots of infantry, really good tanks, a bit mediocre and everything else, a real heavy hitter. And 78 Sturm is a bit interesting compared to the vanilla, as they do have Tigers available, but those Nashorns and really damn good infantry is gonna really come in quite key, especially on a map like this. Those Nashorns at 2 kilometers are pretty nasty stuff.
That is certainly true, and they'll have the work cut out for them because, like, things like the SU-122, Nashorn is scary, but those rhinos are endangered, so not the easiest thing to be working with.
Indeed, indeed. But it'd be interesting how this will go, because these two divisions can definitely go at it quite well. We're seeing a whole lot of stocks here early on here from Babaryann, and really all the play happening up north and in the centre. Down south is all quiet on the southern front.
This certainly is, and if I were the Germans, I think I'd be okay with that, since I would not want to be charging across two Maxims. Well, a 2 Maxim field, actually, so that's a lot of lead farming you can kind of put down. And otherwise, yeah. We might see the first opening salvos here actually launched against the Messerschmitt BF-109, who is rather innocent right now, just taking a lot of ground fire, though, good lord.
Oh yeah. Is he gonna be forced back by the 37? Oh, he's tanking the rest like a champ.
Tell you what he is doing, he's going after that PE2, but I think the PE2 is going to get shots off in the meantime. He's going to definitely terrify that Nashorn.
Yeah, it's actually very lucky for Nashorn it wasn't such a direct hit, because that would definitely be enough firepower to blow up Nashorn. Because once again, this is Red Storm. Everything's changed, and air power, whether it's rockets or bombs, are much more deadly.
Certainly is. Now up to the north, we are seeing the first surrender kind of gained over here. The Aufklärer Pioneers, not really able to stand up to all of that junk coming towards them. To be fair, not sure the Schutzen are really going to be able to do that well either. They'll sit for a while, but not for too long.
Yeah, Panzerschreck really should be in that town here to provide a bit of extra, useful fire. Same thing of the leader. He's also not in the town. It's got a really good strike group. Yeah, AS has a T-34 backed up with all the Avtos and Guard Motor Strackley. He has a pretty good chance to getting the hill up north completely under his control.
And that is kind of an important hill. We always talk about it. If you can keep them off that slopes, or at least sit on the reverse slope waiting for them to come up, you control a fair bit of territory, and you can even extend some control over to the town south of those bridges as well.
Indeed, indeed. So yeah, it's really coming down to its rather pivotal play up north. The middle play of the Stugs didn't go that great. One of them's gun jammed, the other one fell back. One shows, 45mm gun came online.
And one more is a burning husk in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
But hey, I mean, in the meantime, we're also going to be seeing some 82 mil stovepipes being brought on up by the Soviets. They're not the little 50 knee mortars that we kind of know and love, but they'll do in a pinch.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of extra range never hurts anybody, apart from the enemy.
And that Panzerschreck apparently didn't need to be in the town. He took him out just fine by himself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, really good kill, yeah. We're seeing Babaryann bringing in the Flam Pioneers as well as a Stug. Might be enough, because I don't believe, do these infantry have anti-tank grenades?
They do
Yes,
not.
they do.
They do.
They do. It's
Oh, yes,
hidden as the tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another red storm trait. Right. Yeah. Quite literally.
Well, I didn't realize that the deep pockets perk, but it's probably a good thing for them at this particular moment. The Pioneer with explosives, though, guys, get out. Thank you. There you go.
It's hard to throw the explosives when you're inside the truck.
I was thinking more of just actually using that Flammenwerfer, but use it. They found a way to use it, so everything's all set there.
No, but really good clutch here from Babaryann. He was very close to losing that hill entirely, but with the Pioneers coming in cavalry style and the Stug as well, he's meant to force AS back into a bit more of a defensive position, run into the trees.
I'm not going to say it's a Hero Pack 40 over here, but Hero Pack 40 over here south actually engaged in that northern town, putting that necessary fire support up there. And I'm trying to see... The SE-122, is he going to engage that Stug? Oh, I believe he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Really kill. It's even though it's a powerful gun, it's a rather inaccurate gun, a rather slow gun.
Yeah, as I say, the Stug almost might get 2 shots to his 1.
Yep. You only have 3 rounds a minute on the 122. But, oh, no, it misses.
In the meantime, there is a 150 mil Schweres Infanteriegeschütz kind of getting pounded over here by those mortars. He's looking to fire back, and so it's kind of funny to watch those artillery duels, especially between stovepipes and kind of more standard tube artillery here, because the mortars just fire so freaking fast. It's like it's not even a fair fight, you know?
Yeah, with the mortars you get like a little barrage going on of like 4 to 5 shots roll. Yeah, with the big bloody 150 mil, it's you know, around whenever it feels like it.
Which kind of begs the question, if this is the rate of fire for these guys here, how the heck are off-maps so freaking huge?
More guns.
The rate of fire. Yeah, well, it's like the entire front is engaging them, apparently.
Yeah, probably just like a battery of 8 to 12 guns just going at it. Yeah, 150 mil slow.
One shot off. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of damage. He's looking for the actual targeting of it. He's pounding the other district here.
Yeah, that's the one problem with using the... Especially in Red... The one of the cool thing about Red Storm is the ability to use the infantry guns as indirect fire, because it makes a lot of sense, but you don't have radio traits, and infantry guns are pretty inaccurate in indirect fire support. They don't really replace artillery. Well, if you know, you manage to get a hit with 150mm, it can prove to be rather deadly, but you need to get a hit.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though too, is that it really loses the same kind of, let's say, tactical importance that you would normally associate with it in kind of the more standard vanilla game.
Yeah, but he's going to be forced to fall back for now, and we're seeing a whole heap of reinforcements up north here from Babaryann. He's got the Stugs, he's got the veteran Pioneers, he's even got the T-26 command tank. Because what is a better tank to command from in a knockoff of a British tankette from the 1920s?
That's true. I kind of wonder if they actually stuck more than 2 guys in that tank to do it, but my guess is probably not.
I don't know if that's a... I forgot if it's a 2 or a 3-man tank. I think it might be a 3-man tank, but someone in the comments will correct me on that.
I mean, I know the T-70 is for sure. That's
yeah.
a 2-man turret. 2-man tank, excuse me.
Yeah, you can barely fit 2 guys in the T-70 to begin with.
Also, 2 guys from Siberia. But the Strug over here might be taking out this... No, he's just for some reason deciding to go into the trees instead. That is a very curious call. There we go.
Yeah.
He's trying to engage, might be able to take out that 37 mil. If he does so, I'm not saying it's completely open insofar as anti-air is concerned, but it might as well be, which means that those few planes that the Germans do have can be quite deadly here.
It's quite interesting just how the roles have reversed so quickly up north. I mean, it just seems like we blinked and Babaryann is making pretty good offensive maneuvers up here. We are seeing reinforcements such as motor superiors and a single IS-2. And the IS-2 is a rather scary customer to come up against, but at close range the Stugs do have a chance.
They certainly do, but I can tell you right now, they are not at close range.
No. They're at long range, and the IS-2 is going to exploit that by blowing the Stug up to smithereens.
Which seems awfully unsporting of him, but pretty sure no one's really keeping track of that at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they're very sporting on the Eastern Front.
Unless it's kind of more like, hey look, a target, pull! Pack 40 in the meantime is going to engage this Maxim, and not quite getting as much damage as he might have liked. And that Maxim has a bizarre amount of stability, I think, in a lot of the different engagements. Middle, though, calmed down quite a bit. I think you're right. I think the major play here is just going to consistently be up top for right now.
Yeah, it's all going to be about the little top up north here. You're just seeing both sides really devote all the resources. I mean, just, you know, quick look down south. I mean, Babaryann really should get that flag under control there. That's a flag he really can't be affording to lose right now. But yeah, even along the center, it's pretty much just developed in a no man's land on that hill.
Uh-oh. Northern push might be falling apart here, as 20 rockets are going to be delivered smack dab into their face. Well, killed a couple of very, very necessary people over here.
Yeah, not a terrible bombing strike at all. Weakened the forces, infantry forces a little bit. And probably going to give AS a little bit of time to get his motor superiors into his buildings to try and ambush these veteran pioneers. But it's going to be a deadly fight, I think, on both sides. People are going to die.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would think nothing less of that. Interestingly, the Superi eschewing any attempt at cover. Rather, 2 out of 3 Superis on the Eastern Front say cover is for pussies. The third one is much more intelligent and is going behind that, but the other 2 guys are going towards the woods. I'm not entirely sure why that's going to be the case.
I think AS really underestimates just how much Babaryann has up here. I mean, he doesn't have any recon, so he can't see it as a whole German company ready to say hello to him with a lot of machine gun firepower.
Exactly, and you can see right now that first squad on the roads is getting absolutely shellacked.
Yep. Second one, they're going to be trading grenades.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. This is the pioneer push here from Babaryann. We are seeing some reinforcements being brought in from AS, mainly support weaponry, T-34s, some recon, and 85mm anti-aircraft gun. Oh, that's going really more towards the regular town. But same thing from Babaryann. We're seeing more Stugs, more infantry, a Pack 40, a National all the way up north as well. That will be an interesting call.
Yeah. I feel like that's not really using the range to its fullest, but then again, the range to its fullest is sticking smack dab in the middle, where he's already got one and it's just not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, I think he's mainly bringing that up to probably try to kill the IS-2, but it's going to be a risky proposition, because the IS-2 does have a chance at shooting back at you. Also, the IS-2 does have 2-kilometer range, so they can both range each other at max range.
Well, in the meantime, the German company, a certainly bad company, is forced back to Superiors. And the IS-2, I think, is certainly laboring under the idea of, you know what, I don't really want to give away my position just yet. And right now, I'm feeling kind of nervous about T-34-76 combat, so that the officer right there, if that goes down, that's a considerable loss. You don't really want to give that away.
Yeah, and it's definitely a very powerful unit. Once again, these tank high command and infantry high command units give a whole heap of very useful bonus to nearby tanks. Stress resilience, extra influence, the spotting value alone. They're really important units. As we're seeing with Babaryann's T-26 High Command, he's just keeping that back because he's the commander. You leave the other people to do the conquering.
Exactly, exactly. Why would you go and get yourself killed when you have other people do the dying for you? I mean, that's just good. That's just good sense.
Exactly, exactly, Khan. Now you're thinking like a general.
I was thinking like a gentleman, you know. Let the lower classes die for us. You don't want to get in there and get your hands dirty.
They're on to shoot the officers.
Exactly. You can't have
There's
just
rules.
having at each other. Exactly. Exactly. We're seeing one of those rules right now. If you see pioneers, you shoot them with as much high explosive as possible.
Mm-hmm. This is quite interesting, because this tank line is actually doing a pretty good job of holding off against these infantry. It's really going to force Babaryann to make his play with his own tanks before he can make a decent push into his town.
Oh yes, but just you wait there, my friend. We have the Nashorn in the back is going to go and be engaging the same way you want him to. Plus an artillery strike as well. This could be delicious.
Yep.
And the officer is down.
Good kill. Now he needs to get an IS-2 and he'll be in a lovely position.
No, I think this is the right call. Smoke it up, throw artillery down, force it back, and then push in.
Yeah, and all the infantry being brought in now, this is going to be perfect timing. And this
Incendiary! The stroke took it out with an AP, but it lit it and blew it up. Good lord, that thing is... Oh wow, okay.
What? Did the Nashorn shoot yet?
No, the stroke G.
Oh, he got like a lucky route. Good hit.
Yeah. As he kind of turns towards his, Nashorn companion, to salute. It's nice to know that they believe that they too are number one. And Panther Strike moving in at the same time, taking out a T-34-76. The other one over here, gun jammed. And yeah, this town is now completely an Axis position, at least insofar as past the 50-yard line, I'd argue.
Yeah, Babaryann really does have the momentum, but we are probably in B phase right now. Red Storm does change the phase timers, where it hits C phase sometime at the 30-minute mark. So Babaryann has a good 13 minutes or so, where he still is somewhat competitive point rise. Once we get into C phase, it gets a little bit nasty for him, but I mean, both sides do have decent decks in depth, a bit more so for AS's deck. So, I mean, AS just needs to try to hold, survive, and get to a C phase at least.
Well, Nashorn goes down, courtesy of those PE2s. Not too surprising, but regardless, that is a big, big loss.
Yeah. The one downside to using such, open top TDs is that they're very vulnerable to aircraft, especially in Red Storm, and especially in the Nashorn. That is, it's not like a King Tiger target, but it almost feels like it at times with the big bloody gun.
True. That is certainly true. That is certainly true. Central position in the meantime starts to move tentatively forwards, and backed up by that Tiger as well. I mean, Porsche, kind of some lovely engineering right there. Putting some fire up on that Maxim machine gun. Definitely going to crush those support teams. This might be a winning play to take that northern side.
Yeah, if he can push, the southern area of that town along with the north, do a good 1-2 push, he can completely mop up his entire northern part of the map. If he can get to that last bridge, you pretty much have the north, and that'll be a good little +2 advantage available to Babaryann. But it's going to be about whether he can break through the Stalingrad and get to the other side.
And 2 more T-34-85s are coming in with the pure attempt to stave off disaster. This is not the only throw that's there, but it's pretty much, in my mind, the most sure thing he's got left.
Yeah, he still has a decent amount of infantry scattered about, and Babaryann has taken some rather significant infantry losses, so he does have reinforcements being brought in. So, yeah, now it's really the pivotal time for AS to try to stave off his attack. But yeah, there's a lot of stugs on this hill, man, and they're all over the place. Up, down, left, right, behind you. It's like a stug heaven.
It's stuck to high heaven, that's for sure. And T-34s they're getting into the fight, but like you said, they're going to take some firepower from multiple sources. I'm not even sure which one they're trying to engage here. Okay, they're engaged in the north. Well, down to 1 already. And wow, 2 shots, 2 crew kills. That is surprising.
Yeah, and this is Red Storm. You cannot repair crew killed last time I recall, so those thugs are completely out of action. And
But not
very
to
out
get
of
done.
action.
There's still another stroke. Now there's a tiger being sent in as well. Sad monkey noise, says Babaryann, which, kind of hard to disagree with on that one.
Yeah, I would be a very sad monkey too of two sunks being blown up. But Babaryann is still making a decent... Oh, no, actually. That one T-34 is becoming an absolute monster.
Yep, yep. And you know what? Sad monkey noise, that's true. I certainly would be going ape if this was happening to me. So.
Oh, there we go.
And a smoke barrage. I like this. That's a really interesting call.
Yeah, I wonder what he's... I think maybe he's probably going to be a bit more aggressive at that time and be able to clear through the town. But I do like seeing smoke barrages. And I do like seeing just smoke off maps. I like smoke, but not smoking. That's a bit different.
I was like, does your mother know you like smoking?
Let's not tell her about that.
What Mrs. Rang doesn't know doesn't hurt her. I understand. Actually, since you're Rangroo, does that make her kangaroo? Or like Mamaroo?
Yeah, and let's just leave it at yeah.
Okay. Taking notes, everybody. Rangroo sleeps in a pouch. Moving on. Babaryann bringing in SDKF said that again that quad flak Veerling over here just engaging infantry targets, blowing them to shreds as is their way, and indeed going after his opposite number. That doesn't really seem to be the most fair of things, but. Oh wow! No, he's water sprinkling the guards. Yikes!
God, I just love seeing crod-mounted 20 mils just go at that stuff. It's too bad no one's made like 6 20 mils on something. Just the amount of firepower.
I am reminded. I think there was an American thing maybe. It was a weapons platform where it was like I think it was in fact 6 machine guns and then no Russian and of course the guy has to like lean off the back of a tailgate to fire it.
Huh.
I had to find.
Are you thinking about the Maxim thing? Because that's 4 machine guns last time I recall.
It's entirely possible. At the same time, we did see a Tiger getting taken out by an IS-2, which is still both cause for celebration for some people and cause for devastation for the other ones.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in the meantime, these guard strokies are actually getting into position here. The push has not gone deep enough for them to force back all of these troops. Which just means that all of their hard work has just kind of gone up in flames. Or actually, I would say gone up in smoke, but the smoke was already there.
Oh, good kill on the T-26.
Yep.
Hansen to knock that guy out, and the rest of the infantry from Babaryann. I mean, yeah. Yeah, AS is doing a pretty good job of actually just holding that flag. He's Stalingrad in that crossroad, making sure his infantry aren't going to take one step back across that river.
And there's so many extra tanks. Wait, how many combat vehicles do they get? 1. Oh, they get the 2. Okay. No, they get 4?
What division?
The 10th. They have 2 commandantes and then 2 officers completely. So the other officer being brought on in, we have the IS-2 down here just kind of holding down the fort and doing a really, really solid job.
Yeah.
Just seeing so.
No, we're just seeing like the whole heap of Babaryann's forces really being thrown into this rather large offensive, and I feel like up north he just has enough to break through. All the armoured assets, T-34s, are still, playing around south of the bridge, but they need to get up onto that hill and try to secure our position. Because once you lose the hill, you lose the bridge, you lose the north.
That's absolutely true. And 15-9 suddenly, what the heck? It was like 13-11 the other directions. 15-9 in the meantime. And Babaryann is starting to put his boot on the throat of AS.
Yeah, and this is exactly what he needs. He needs that +2 point advantage. If he keeps it up like this, yeah, I would say 13-minute victory, but now 27. So he's doing really good for himself if he can keep us up. The T-34s are making it across the river, but not onto the hill, so Babaryann still has time.
And not to waste that time, he's just dropping infantry after infantry after infantry. And the last pockets of Russian resistance are being pushed out. I'm just going to quick look down to the south. So I did see a random T-34-76 being brought on in. I can't see it being a huge push, more like a, maybe we'll dip our toes in kind of idea more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. E-34's being brought into the hill finally, but I feel like how Babaryann is using his anti-aircraft units as like pretty aggressive ground units. It's risky, but when it works, it works.
Well, even when it doesn't work, it provides me with a nice, suitable kind of moment of merriment, so very hard to hate that too much.
Mm-hmm. But yes, it's starting to make a little bit of like a counterpush in the southern area of the town at least. And if you look in the central part of the map, he has managed to secure that flag by the crossroads for the time being. Maybe it'd be a good idea for AS to try to open up another front to relieve pressure up north, because the rest of the map on Babaryann's side is pretty weak.
That certainly does seem to be the case. We're starting to see some Begleith Schutzen being brought on in as well, which certainly indicates that, well, first of all, we're definitely in B, which is not too surprising, perhaps. But also that I think the recon kind of tab for Babaryann over here is starting to get a little bit scanty. It's not, too slim just yet, but it's pretty close.
Yep. Yep. The same with both sides, and not a whole heap of recon. But the map, in the current fights and up north, recon isn't super duper important. It's just Red Storm recon does have a more defined role compared to vanilla.
True. Basically, in the ground pounders for the most part can't see jack.
Yep.
But those recon guys, apparently they have Mark 01 eyeballs that are really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Like Mark 1.5 models.
Dude, I wish I had their eyeballs, is what I'm trying to say.
Same.
One lone pack gun, I think, is kind of carrying the pride and joy of the Wehrmacht over here on the northern side. Excuse me, the Ostheer over here on this northern flank. The thing is that he actually, get a tank commander killed. I mean, now we also have the Stug engaging as well. They kill each other, but that's still, I would argue, a trade in favor of Babaryann.
Yeah, it's just the opportunity to be able to clear out tank up, and now it's going to be the combat, having to engage in combat, to hold the line, to hold the hill. And yeah, this northern hill is completely collapsed, but AS has pretty much done a very good job of putting pressure south of the hill at least, so he's not completely out of the fight yet.
No, he's not completely out of the fight, that's true, but I feel like not even he who controls the hill controls the spice kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
But as we can see right there, the combat guy, he fires, a couple rifle rounds, and then he just flees for the hills. Nothing
Yeah, probably should have got him out of there sooner, because it's a unit you really don't want to be losing.
True. True. And unfortunately, I think he will in fact be lost here.
Yep. 6 feet under now.
That's called entrenching. And looking, I'm surprised that in this central position there hasn't been a little bit more aggression over here from AS.
Yeah, he could definitely try to make a play where the veteran grenadiers are in that farm. That would be a good area to try and make a push. But I feel like, there's a lot of forest, just a lot of open ground. It can be a little bit scary to push through the central position without like a large concentration of force.
But large concentration or not, I feel like you don't need to have, I don't know, I just feel like you're missing a huge opportunity. Razvetka, in the meantime, to the north, is trying to engage the town, but to very, very little effect, I would argue. As a couple Superior have also made a bit of a crossing, but they're not going to make it past those Schutzen or that Panzerschreck, I'd argue. The Panzerschreck will probably die.
Yeah, if he runs into him. Well, yeah, the Schutzen definitely with the two... Does it have two machine... No, it only has one machine gun in Red Storm. But still, entrenched will have a pretty good advantage.
Well, here's the point. I stick a couple of pack guns just to the southeast of that Sturmschützen inside the town.
Oh yeah.
Put to the southeast, let them just control the approaches, and I say, thank you very much for the 3 points, sir, and then that's that.
Yeah, and then just slowly mop up the rest of the town here. But AS is not going to go quietly into the night, and they're still trying to put pressure onto a hill. That's going to be a uphill battle, so to speak.
I'll tell you what won't be an uphill battle if that PE2 comes in to just blitz those Schutzen. As almost 50% of the squad goes down there. Sturmschützen in the meantime, get out, get after that Schutzen, that Resvedkad, excuse me. Wow.
Come on. Are you... No, he's not going to get it. Oh no, he did.
Well, technically he's getting badly damaged optics, which I would argue, yeah, being dead is pretty badly damaged eyeballs there, but
yeah, I can't argue with that, honestly. You have a very good point.
There's a potential 4 that we could see on the map today. We're seeing one of them right now all the way to the north. Are we seeing a second one? No, not just yet.
We're seeing a bunch of modders there, which is quite interesting. I'm guessing he's going to use that to solidify his northern position, probably get him into that little forest you were talking about earlier, and just try to deny enemy reinforcements.
And that's kind of the thing, though, isn't it? Like, this truly is among the smaller number of maps where you have defined strong points.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one of them. Yeah, please.
It's also just, I'd say this map, you don't... If you lose the northern hill, it really sucks more for the person on the right compared to the left, as you don't really have any, like, bridges towards your spawn to get back onto the hill, where on left side, I mean, you literally have that far flank bridge, which you can still use to get back onto it. So it's just really going to screw with AS if he doesn't manage to get a foothold back in. He's doing a decent job. He's getting onto a hill, but it's just with small infantry pushes.
Taking a quick look down over here to see the fact that right now, somehow the Maxim is blitzing a 2-centimeter flak 38 in the stress war of, minute 32.
Yeah.
Not sure I agree with that, but hey, whatever.
Oh, it's a cover bonus. The Maxim's in green cover, the flak's in the yellow.
Yeah, I think it's just that my logic circuits are being teased here. Just like that flak reeling, stick one that Yak 9 to the north. Nebelwerfer hitting, apparently nothing.
Oh.
Dude, hit the town. You know there's infantry there. Why are you shooting? Whatever. Curious decision. Curiouser and curiouser. I mean, technically you can kill the IS, and now he's aligning differently. Okay, at least he's targeting some infantry this time. I'll take that.
There we go. That's a more rough roll. Oh yeah, hitting that central town. I mean, for Babaryann, he really should try to secure the town south of the river a little bit more now. I feel like he's just trying to still solidify his northern holdings here.
True. Very, very true. I do continue to be surprised but the deployment of the artillery assets really kind of overall, or at least the targeting of the artillery assets from Babaryann. I think they probably could have gotten a little bit more efficient use out of this. Of course, I say that with having God vision, so maybe that's a little bit unfair for me to make the comment.
Yeah, I mean, Babaryann is in a good, slow but steady position right now. No longer on the crazy +2 as he lost a little bit of territory in that northern town. But he has the high ground on the hill, which is pretty damn important. And if he can keep it up, he'll be in a good position. But this is when the income really starts to screw him over, as we're probably in C phase now. I mean, that's a 30-ish point difference now, compared to the 10 points, 15 points that it was before.
And yes, guys, it is true that if you look at some of the prices of material over here, it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, oh my gosh, he's going to get buried in IS-2s or something like that. But getting that extra infantry squad, 4 to your opponent's 3, when you're already down a good chunk, that will start to add up after a bit.
Yeah. I think it's just about whether he can get those Marder 2s into a good defensive position. Just all the stugs, there's just been so many stugs, which makes sense. 78th Sturm is a stug-heavy division.
It is. It certainly is. Tank of Thessaloniki being brought on forward, these poor guys are not going to make it out. They might even barely make it to the front.
Yeah. I mean, AS is still making really good plays in the center here. I mean, Babaryann's been bringing stuff up and seeing the Stugs are getting killed. Really, Babaryann's best plays are just provide good fire support from the hill and maybe have infantry push up in the town on foot.
It's an admirable thought.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's going to pay off, though, Cotton.
Yo, down south here, we're also starting to see a little bit of an attack here from AS. He's got a big bloody IS-2 in the open field, and some Tenko Disney being hold on in, so to speak. So he's probably going to try and get control of that farmstead, I'm going to reckon.
That's true, but check out that Nashorn. Look at that sneaky try to position.
Oh, yeah.
That could be absolutely, like, scrumdiddly-umptious positioning there.
If he can get the first shot in the IS-2, that'll definitely relieve a bit of pressure with that southern push here.
Folks on my end are seeing right now the rounds per minute between the two. Frankly, the Nashorn should be able to get off 2 shots. Well, two and a change. Of course, he's got to be able to actually hit the damn thing, though, too.
Yep. And knowing IS-2s are really good at some reason to getting that first shot off. You think the gun's pretty inaccurate, but honestly, it's not really that inaccurate. Like 41% accuracy base. It's doable.
That's exactly what you want to hear right before the big attack goes off. It's kill him.
You can make it. I think we'll just have to see. Go on the offensive. Me, no, I'll stay here.
The tech of this on Nikki over here gonna find out.
Oh.
Yeah, I should say the armor was correct pretty easily on that one.
Probably wasn't much armor left.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, the armor is correct. I'm like,
Very interesting though how he decided to get those tank destiny key into the forest rather than going right into the farmstead. Yeah, I do like the sneaky play, but that natural one is gonna say no to that.
Or at least he's gonna make the infantry squad extremely. What's the right term I'm looking for here? It's not gonna be super duper dangerous. Let's put it that way.
I'm wondering how Babaryann's really doing on tanks, because he's used a lot of Stugs, and he doesn't have like a whole lot left, most likely. He does have a good amount of Marders in C phase, as well as Nashorns and Pike 43s and all of that. So he still has anti-tank game, but he's not gonna have many tanks left.
That's certainly true. We are seeing a bit of a late push over here, or at least a bit of a shamble more than anything else. Going east into this town south of the bridges here, and another reloaded barrage. Aiming for that 37 mil. Okay. Wouldn't be surprised to see that 37 mil go down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Also worth mentioning, there's a Beglitschützen who is less than 100 meters from a tank.
Even has anti-tank grenades, come on.
And that's exactly what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, the T-34 is perfectly behind cover here by the building. Just one block over, one house over really, and it's a dead commander.
Well, you know, that's what it kind of is, isn't it? It's like, yep, there's a guy next door, he's trying to kill me. There goes the neighborhood. Yep. Like, it's kind of a weird thing. 37 mil gets plastered by one rocket, but of course that's not enough to kill it because naval warfare is way more shouting than it is actually any kind of damage, it feels like. And this weird Strelky group behind the front lines just continues to pick off one after another after another.
Yeah, low on ammo behind enemy lines, are doing real partisan tactics here, just trying to, you know, disrupt the front line a bit. You know, frankly, they're not doing much disrupting there. Kind of targets.
It's not even targets of opportunity though either. It's just sort of just a shooting gallery more than anything else.
Yeah, that's just, yeah. And we've seen this sort of like tank force here from Babaryann moving into position to try to get a better eyes onto the supply line here. That's a pretty nasty position he's getting those Stugs onto.
Certainly has the potential to be. Down south, we are seeing a slight attempt to close off this pocket. We'll take this on Nikki. They are inside that forest. They technically have not picked up that flag just yet, and it's going to go, and the walls are going to start to close in around them.
Yep. Be interesting to see if they manage to get any sneaky kills behind enemy lines, because they're on partisan duty now.
I feel like every single Soviet troop at some point was like, "Oh yes, I'm a partisan now." It's like, ah yes, okay.
Yeah, especially in 1941, just as German encirclements.
Well, these IS-2s have been dropping, maybe not quite as quickly as might be hoped by some of Babaryann's kind of individuals here, but still getting some kills hither and thither.
Yeah, and he has a whole heap of IS-2s still available, so if he loses some, it doesn't really matter. A great PU-2 strike, knocking out the Pak 40 in one fell swoop. But Babaryann, he's on that 15-9, oh, 14-10 now. He's still doing pretty good. He has the momentum, it feels like, on his side.
Yes, and even if he's losing strokes here and there, as long as he has Nashorns, and as long as he has his Martyrs, I mean, that could be enough. Kind of just light artillery, light tank support to be effective here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the North is really starting to crumble here from AS. He really doesn't have a whole lot on the front line left, while Babaryann is just a giant rave of blue. A lot of blue. There we go, 15-9. AS needs to make something happen. Probably down south is his best bet, but even then, Babaryann has a pretty good defense. I mean, that one Nashorn covering the open field is in a nasty spot.
Yeah, and it's not like he really can sneak that Tenko Desantniki in there, because technically the Tenko Desantniki has no grenades. So, bit of a hassle there. The Martyrs are getting picked off one by one. I guess that's kind of par for the course. They're giving their lives for the glory of the German army here. Tracks broken, tank optics damaged, badly damaged at that. The IS-2 is practically firing blind now.
Yeah.
Driver killed. This is going to be just crit city. Crit city until the end, I'm sure.
That's just an execution scroll at this point.
Well, and that Martyr picks off a T-34-76 moving in as that reinforcement opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And you with a tank commander killed. You know, those tank destroyers, again, tissue paper armor. But jeez, killing two more in the meantime, this is not a good look.
Yeah, I mean, and one nice thing about the Martyrs compared to Stugs is that they do have a higher rate of fire, if I recall, because it is an open top. Tank Destroyer have 10 rounds a minute compared to, I believe, like the 7 rounds a minute, yeah, Stug has. So if you get them into a shooty position, they can do, well, a lot of shooting.
Which is good, 'cause, I mean, that's what it says on the tin in the first place, but still.
Mm-hmm.
But we are sitting at 15 9s, we crossed 43 minutes. It's just, it's been a doozy, ladies and gentlemen. But I think Babaryann might be kind of slowly inching his way towards that victory. Of course, I say that right now as two Martyrs go up against two IS-2s. I know where my money pretty much is. And judging by the way that Martyr 2 is backing off, it has proved me correct on that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, German mortars just kind of bombard the back lines pretty blindly, looking in vain for that 37 mil, but he's just been displacing pretty consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of SU-122s from AS, using them as indirect fire support, and they are pretty good in this mod. They do have the radios, and heavy artillery on map is pretty rare. Oh look, Yak 9s, 109, which 9 we're in, probably no 9s.
I say Flak 38 to the backfield. You're not pushing him away.
No. But yeah, I don't feel like his SU-122s have really done a whole lot.
They've had some suppression damage, but it's not been really the greatest of showings for them. That's for sure.
Yeah. And there we go.
We didn't end with a bang. We ended with a little bit more of a whimper, but yep, kind of what we anticipated here. The KD with a few hundred of each other back and forth. 45 millimeters. Pavlov, I think he was up to the no, he was in the central position, wasn't he? 3 Stokes and a Nashorn.
Yeah, that's he really sort of put him in a house.
And there you go. So see, for example, SU-122 Kaminsky over here. We have 3 support positions. IS-2, he's got 3 Tiger kills, another vehicle, and a Flak 38. So there are some standouts here. Indeed, geez, like another IS-2 beating up on that poor infantry. So again, there are heroes. And
Yeah.
there are villains. And unfortunately, there are a lot more villains today than heroes.
Yeah, and look at losses. There's really not a whole lot. It's super crazy. It's really just a few Stugs, an Ashorn doing decent, a few 2 Nashorns doing decent, but a much more shared approach from the German side.
And not for nothing, but I think that's kind of to a certain extent what we kind of expected here. The Germans weren't going to have hero units. They're all elite units in the first place.
Yeah, and it's really just that, Stug spam can work out really well, but Babaryann definitely did a great push up north, almost losing a hill position to completely capturing it. And as you see, once you completely capture it, it just gives you so much opportunity and pressure, and it's pretty easy to hold once you have it completely secured. But just great momentum on his side, and yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So well done there. Well done indeed. But I think that's going to about do it for us today, at least for the Red Storm 44 mod. Any last thoughts there, sir?
No.
Okay, in that case, folks, we're going to call it quits for today. I'm Connell Work.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.